Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have tuned in to the 4th round of the 2nd season of the IGTL. After the first 3 races, Brownie takes a 7-point lead over Stig v Rob, a championship battle which could be getting excited. However, a good result from either Tay or Alex and they could thrust themselves back into title contention. We'll see how some of these drivers shape themselves up on the grid as we head to Interlagos for the Brazilian round of the season. It was Extra Frosty who takes pole position then with Stig v Rob alongside him. Lights out and away we go. Extra Frosty gets a good start, but it's a great start from Stig v Rob, who pulls himself up the order. Hellgaster goes from 3rd place. He's down the inside of them both, but Stig v Rob tries to get past and into the lead, and I think he's done it. He's just about done it there. Someone went off in the background. Extra Frosty did not capitalise on getting pole position. Racing tears all over the back of him. It wasn't the best of starts from Extra Frosty. Hellgaster massively capitalised by shooting all the way up in his second. Good start from him. Now then, we're watching Melon as he's got Hooby Shooby and SDM RRDZ. Or SDM, as we're just going to call him for the sake of time. Hooby Shooby looks to the inside of the other Porsche driver and he's gone for it on the Austrian. Does he give himself on the inside? Yes, he does, as they go and run out of turn 4 now, though. Melon is trying for it into turn 5 on with Squeakers. Does he go for it down the inside? He's just about held it. He has just about held it. Now Hooby Shooby goes all sideways. I think he got a bit all squirmy. Someone's gone off. SDM manages to keep the car but drops to the back as Crazy. He's up into 10th. So Crazy and SDM are 2 rookie drivers making their debut here. Crazy joins the long list of British drivers as he takes the move on Hooby Shooby down the inside. As he kept it, yeah, just about there. And as he goes out wrong in the exit for Hooby Shooby, SDM moves up into 10th. Shooby is dropping toward the back now. In fact, he is in last, although SDM got a little on the grass running up into Jinsao. So then at the end of what's looking like a really hectic lap, then Meloni's on the back of Alex after Large. Brownie is facing 5th, the championship leader, massively out of position. He's got Extra Frosty on the back of Stig v Rob. Restay in 2nd. Extra Frosty moves over to the inside. Here comes Stig v Rob. Does he have a look down the inside? Yes, they do. They got 3 wide going into turn 1. It's not enough yet. And Racer Tail loses the position to Stig v Rob, although he fights back going through the second part of the centre S. And Highstalder around the outside curve of the Solar leaves the door up for Extra Frosty to muscle his way through and up into 3rd place. Meanwhile, Alex after Large has gotten himself up in a 5th in and amongst all of this. These 3 drivers very close. Does Tail goes to the inside of them both? Not quite, although someone who is going to the inside is Extra Frosty, who makes the move on Stig v Rob. On the exit, can Stig v Rob keep himself ahead of Racer Tail? Not quite, as Tay moves himself in front, capitalising on the overtake from Extra Frosty. However, Stig v Rob keeps it down the inside. He has a look, although he's backed out of it going into turn 5 at the top of the hill. Squeakers then, he's got Crazy Buttocks behind him as SDM slides his way past him. That was an easy move from SDM in the Dodge, the first ever Dodge driver in the league. Although we've had a couple of Americans have come and gone over the course of the first season. This is the first time an American driver is racing in season 2. Let's see if he will stick it out. We've got SDM though going all sideways, coming out of the corner there. Squeakers following him round with Crazy Buttocks and Hooby Shooby going from 7th to 10th. Old nose to Tellil going through Jinsao, trying to get a good exit out of Jinsao. Hooby Shooby goes off the track there. Not good from him. Brownie SV has somehow ended up at the back. We're not too sure on how he's managed to do that. He might have been involved in some sort of incident. He must have done to drop that far behind him. So not the start of a race he wants for Brownies. He's going for the championship. Someone who's going for the overtake is Crazy Buttocks, who slides himself into turn 1 on the inside. We cut away from that battle then. So watch Stig v Rob having to defend against the Canadian. Alex after Large, he pulls over to the inside going down the Retro Posta into Decido Lado. I don't know Brazilian names, so let's just not try to pronounce them. I'm probably getting them horribly wrong anyway. Anyway, Stig gets off the track coming out of turn 4, and as they go up the hill into turn 5, Stig has dropped out of position to 5th place. However, it's a great opportunity for Stig. He's only 7 points behind the championship leader, so with Brownie all the way down the order, the championship can swing in Stig's favour if he gets a good result out of this. However, it might look likely that Brownie can come up the field. It's still early days in this Grand Prix, so anything can change in motor racing. Crazy Buttocks sliding his way out the corner there on the back of Squeakers, wanting the position. The Mitsubishi Lancer then sees the BMW Z4 with the McLaren MP412. No, that's not the right McLaren. The 650S in the background. I don't know why I said MP412C. That's the wrong McLaren. It's a McLaren anyway. Racer Taze in 3rd place, 4th place is Alex Afterlarge, 5th Stick V Rob, 6th Melon, 7th Miss Squeakers, 8th Crazy Buttocks, 9th is Brownie SV. He's made up a couple of positions there as Hooby Shooby and SDM have dropped to the back. We'll watch Brownie then as he's coming up. He's really going to want to pull himself up in this race because it's not the position he really wants to be in if he's going for the championship. Meanwhile, Crazy Buttocks and Miss Squeakers are having a ding-dong battle just up there for 7th place as Brownie SV looks to sweep himself round Curva de Sol and slides himself ahead of Crazy Buttocks. Squeakers then is the next target for Brownie SV's charge up the field. As we watch Long Live Hellgast as Extra Frosty goes to the move down the inside into turn 5. He made his intentions clear. Neither of these drivers have ever won a race here in the International. There's contact. Light bit of contact there between Extra Frosty and Hellgast. Wasn't anything too major. Racer Ted just in the background who has won a race. Cast your minds back to season 1 in Monza. That was the first and only time Racer Ted has taken victory out of current. Hellgast sweeping himself round now. It's important to get a good run into this corner because it's the final braking zone. I believe it's Junsao, and you set yourselves up to launch out there up the hill, which you need the straight line speed for, and Hellgast might not have too much of a challenge getting straight line speed with that Corvette versus the Genesis. However, Frosty pulls himself up to the outside, has a look on the outside. They still went side by side as they run into turn 1. Who's going to brake later? Who will brake later? Will it be Frosty? Will it be Hellgast? Although with Frosty on the outside, Hellgast holds the inside. No way through for Frosty yet, but he's definitely making his intentions clear, and he's showing he is not going to back off. Racer Tay just behind in 3rd place though. Well, I can't tell if he's gaining, but coming out of the Curva de Sol onto the back straight, Frosty pulls to the inside. I think he's just ahead going into the break-ins of a turn 4. A little bit of contact as Hellgast almost turned into him. Frosty holds the inside line, and was that a bit of a push from Frosty? That might have been a little bit of a push yet again. Hellgast seems to have gone off the track, although as if he's ran himself out of room, and there was a bit of contact there as he comes round and Frosty spins, and he's gone round. Frosty facing the complete wrong direction. Catastrophic from the Brit as he's facing the wrong way after fighting for the lead against Long Live Hellgast. Absolutely destructive and disappointing. It's really, he's going to be kicking himself after a simple mistake, and amidst all the madness, Racer Tay has come out in front, and he's now leading the Brazilian Grand Prix with Hellgast in 2nd. 3rd place Alex Afterlarge, and in 4th is Stick V Rob. The 4 can all be in with a chance of winning this race. They're all very close to each other now. Hellgast goes off the track. Alex trying to keep with him on track, trying to stay, and now he's lost a lot of time to Stick V Rob. He's leaking the time out to Stick V Rob. Moves to the outside. If you remember back, Stick V Rob was the one that made that double overtake into turn. Well, no, he made the double overtake after going 3 wide into turn 1 with BJ28 and Fubuki, I think it was, back in season 1. Alex Afterlarge peels off the driving line and into the pit lane. Racer Tay then leads this race. Now, questions were on that lot. Did Frosty squeeze Hellgast out? It looked as though he'd moved across and then Hellgast ran out of room coming out of turn 4. But it was difficult to tell at this point, and we've got no reports of stewards looking into it, so either they didn't and I'm just seeing something different, or Hellgast, or he did and Hellgast frankly doesn't quite care, mainly because Frosty spun around, so maybe that was quite the punishment. Either way, Stig is now on the attack, and he needs this opportunity as he drifts through that corner across the curb. He needs the opportunity to get as many points as he can over this man, Brownie SV, the McLaren, the Mobilicity McLaren. And Melon's off. Melon has been joining him on the grass on a wildlife tour of Sao Paulo. Not where he wants to be, and there goes Brownie SV, an easy position as Brownie takes 4th place. He overtakes a rejoining Melon. What? Not the best results for him. And now we join Stick V Rob taking the fight to Long Live Hellgast. The Mercedes driver is all over the back, all over the side, should I say, of the Corvette. Number 18 versus Stick V Rob. And someone else, I believe, has just gone off in the background. I think I saw someone off over there. don't quite know if I did, but either way we're watching squeakers go up and round the hill to what this track is naming corners, but in truth I don't really call them much of a corner. The whole final sector is effectively just flat out aside from that corner you go to. Brownie SV holding second place over Melond, who did make an error. I'm assuming he made a spin somewhere, might have touched the curb, because the curbs can be quite volatile when it comes to this track. You can get over the curbs, mainly here where Brownie SV is going, on the outside. If you touch that curb on the outside just there and accelerate, spin the wheels, but the car's just gone. There's very little you can do to catch that. So it could be a guess that Melond has just spun the car, but it's a mystery and it's not where he wants to be going. He was not racing in the right direction. Another driver who made an error is Extra Frosty. He's down in 8th place. I didn't catch if he's made a pit stop. In fact, at the moment I believe it's Alex F. Delage being the only person to have made a pit stop. But watching Crazy then, he's one of the two drivers that are here making their International GT League debut. Crazy Buttocks, whatever you want to call him. So there he is. He's chosen to be with the Mitsubishi Lancer number 765, so another 3-digit number. We don't have many 3-digit driver numbers in the course of this league. There's only a couple that I can think of off the top of my head, but we have one here in the form of Crazy Stig v Rob, as you can see on your graphic, into the pit lane now. Will anyone else follow him in and see what the strategy call is? We're looking mostly at a 2-stop as Melond also pits in. I reckon at this range they're probably on for a 2-stop, so it'll maybe be that one that they're going in to pit in for the 2-stop strategies. We can see Melond, Crazy's in, Stevie Rob's in, Resite isn't in. Alex Delage did pit in already. He's already made a stop. Brown ASV's leading, but I wonder, because of what happened to Brownie and the fact that he was last, could that affect the strategy he's going on to? Now, he might have to try an alternate strategy, although Alex is down, he's inside now to the outside at turn 5. Does he hold around the outside? Not quite. Brownie holds the inside position for now. Alex has a look yet again around the outside for 6. However, braking on the curb is never going to end well, so he's going to aggressively take that one. And Brownie still leads this race. The more the two in front battle, the closer Resite can catch up. Resite has pitted in by the looks of things. I believe at this point Brownie's the only one not to have pitted. We're about halfway in the race. If he pits from now on, he probably might just be able to make the 1-stop. So a 1-stop will be possible. Has his hand been forced into a 1-stop in an attempt to gain strategic positions after making what I believe was an error at the start that dropped him right to the back and cost him out of position? He needs whatever points he can get from this race, as Alex is in front now. He needs whatever points he can get from each race, week in, week out. He's now coming into the pit lane now, and Sabrani SV in the pits. Will it be a 1-stop from him, or will he make another stop? If he does make another stop, it'll be very late into the race, but he can push now more than any other driver can, because he'll have fresher tyres and his fuel will be scheduled to go longer. So Brownie will be able to push more. So this leaves Alex F. Delage in the lead of this race, but Resite not too far behind and looking to cause an upset. Alex F. Delage not won a race. However, it all went wrong for him earlier this season at the Kyoto driving park. If you all remember that disaster of what happened for him, as it all went wrong. It just went disastrous. He was leading onto the final lap, came out the final corner, and it was Stig v Rob who took his first victory this season in the second race. And when it all went wrong for him, and because he just ended his race right at the end, going slow across the line, how heartbreaking that must be. So then, well, let's watch some replays. We're on board with Stig v Rob starting second, led the race at the end. You can see just up in front there's Extra Frosty. The lights go green here. Stig's sort of getting known this season for just getting really good starts, like he nails the start pretty much every time, and it's helped yet again as he's already here cleared Extra Frosty, which was the only obstacle he needed to clear, and now he's leading the race. So what else do we have in the way of replays this time? We've got Resite. We're about with Resite starting a bit further back, but he's in 4th on the grid. You can see there's Hellgas just to the right of you, Frosty and Stig. You'll see Stig get a good start. You'll see perfect view of Hellgas. Also got a good launch away. goes to the inside of Frosty. That almost could have ended bad if Frosty had turned in and Helgas was leaving the room. So that's how Helgas got ahead of Frosty. Frosty did not get the start, did he? He's now taking a capitalise on Frosty's bad start. As he have a look down the inside, because now you can see Helgas challenging Stig v Rob just up there for the lead going into turn 4. Who braked latest? Tay brakes very late down the inside of Frosty, whether that was just the car's brakes or the nerve of the driver, but he's still there as Frosty just saw his tyre poking around, and there he is going up there on the inside in turn 5. So Tay might back out. Yep, there he goes. There goes Res Tay. He's backed off at this point. Does he go for that gap down the inside of Frosty? He does indeed, and that's what gets him ahead of Extra Frosty. Frosty's disastrous start seemed to just continue for the lap. Does he now go for the exit? Stig, is he going for on Stig? Yes, he does down the inside yet again. Very similar to what he did on Extra Frosty, just a corner or two later. So it seems to me that Tay has a sort of system when it comes to his overtakes. He lines them up and goes for it. Whenever there's a gap, he goes for it. That's something we have seen time and time again this season. So, and it's something we may see throughout his season, throughout his career, and it could hopefully his aggressive driving style bring it to him. This is the McLaren driver then, Brownie SV. We have him fitted with the helmet cam for today's race. We see him accelerate away. He drops behind Tay, who will come down the inside now. Just about, he'll be somewhere in the. So there's a bump there. So Brownie SV got a bump, and then has to cut the corner because he's got pushed off. I'm sure you might have heard. So that's quite frustrating. Although he didn't accelerate, didn't gain anything from cutting the corner. So for him to be given penalties for that is kind of just stupid. There'll be no reason for him to give, because he got pushed off and then he let off the accelerator. There goes Squeakers on the outside. Bye Squeak, see you later. And then as he got pushed off, he let off the throttle and just rolled the car through. He didn't accelerate through, because he could have just gone for it, gained a couple of positions from it and got himself back up to where he was, which he didn't do. So he did the sensible thing. And now there goes Alex Iftalage making an error. Down the inside he goes of him. Frosty makes an error. Oh, there's more contact. He's been bumped again. You could see Brownie really working the wheel to get it into position. Anyway, so we rejoin the racing now with Alex Iftalage in the lead. Racer Tay in second place and Extra Frosty down in third. Well, I said down in third. He started on pole. It's been a decent race for Frosty. This one, he's managed to keep position. Could be on for a podium. Either one of these top two drivers at the moment in this race could go on to win in about 8 laps time. And both of them will want to win, because both of them, a good result here, which I'm sure a victory counts as a good result, and if with the top two down in 5th and below the top 8 as they are in the championship, this race could prove havoc and could create a three-way title fight, because this could be the race that sets one of these two drivers up for a chance at going for the championship. It'd be a bit of an outside chance, and they really have to go for every race to try and take the fight to the top two, but it would make the championship fight interesting. This is the halfway mark of the season, as Tay goes extremely wide out there. That was not the track. I think he thought he was doing rallycross with his Subaru and did a joker lap. Not needed in this race, of course, but if we had a three-way title fight, that would make the championship way more interesting. And as we join to a four-way race fight for 6th place, Melon, STM, Huibi Shubi and Brownie SV, 4 different nationalities, 3 different cars, and different, but one of them is on his debut. STM then moves up into 6th place. We go back to helmet cam on board with Brownie SV. He's behind them now. What can he do in terms of position? Hubi goes for the attack on Melon, but he doesn't quite get him there. Just follows them through. Is he going to try and just pick his pieces now? Was almost, and there goes Hubi. There goes Hubi Shubi on Melon. And Hubi Shubi's gone. Hubi Shubi has gone. There he is, off the track, and catastrophic. It's not good for him. And now Brownie has a look down the inside of Melon. Does he finally get the move done? Yes, he does. Easily in front there now. Next up is the American SDM RRDZ. Here we go then, into the final braking zone of the lap. Accelerates himself across the grass. Wasn't quite the track there, Brownie, but I'm sure he knows that. We'll probably try not to do that again. Alex Iftalage, his black Corvette in the pit. Here's another Corvette. It's long live Helgast. Stig V Rob in the Mercedes. Here he comes, and here comes in as Alex Large leaves. STM comes in. Or was it the... Yeah, STM came in. Alex Large was already in the pits, and I think he's coming out of the pits now. Yes, he does. He makes... That's his second stop. And he was earlier than the other people. So... That's... Yeah. That's the strategy call for him, though. These top 4 drivers in this race at the moment, they will all pit at some point, because obviously they've... Well, I'm assuming, because it looks to me like they're all on the 2-stop. The only one that I could think of making the 1-stop is Brownie S3. I think Brownie might be the only person to make the 1-stop, mainly because he pitted significantly later, and he pitted on the halfway mark of the race on lap 8. Alex Large, he's already done 2 stops. It's not like he can magically erase pit stop and get a 1-stop out of this race. Frosty on the fuel light. Racer comes in from the lead. Race leader Racer in the pits. Extra Frosty follows him in. Long live Helgast in the pits. Stig V Rob not in the pits. So Stig V Rob continues on. Although looking at his fuel gauge, will he be able to go all the way? Alex Large did pit on the last lap, so this is going to be crucial between Racer and Alex Large as to who comes out in the lead, or at least in the lead of these 2 cars or drivers. The net first place. Here he comes then, coming out the pit lane is Tay. Nope, Alex Large is in front. Racer is there, so there comes Racer, not in front of Alex Large. He's behind him, so that could prove interesting for the races. Alex Large was leading the race. Racer actually, no, sorry, Tay or Alex, one of those 2 was leading the race. They were scrapping for the race lead. At the moment, it's Stig V Rob who leads. However, I believe Stig might be due for another pit stop. Looking at his fuel, he's going to go far into the race, but I don't think he's going to make it to the end from this stage. It seems it's going to be tricky to call at this point. We'll have to wait and see as to what happens if Stig 1-stops and he's like he's only stopped and can get to the end. Stig can possibly win and turn the championship table, turn the championship into his favour, which would do wonders for his title hopes. But can he do it? Can he get the win here? As we cut to long live Helgast and Ubi should be very close on track. Who will come out in front of this battle? Extra Frosty and Mellord also close on track. And as we speak about Stig V Rob's race, he calls it into the pits. His stint is over. Alex Large now retakes the lead. Resta into second, but where is Brownie? The 2 championship rivals, whereabouts on track do they come? I think Brownie might just get in, but it's going to be close as Stig V Rob's coming out of the pits now. Who comes out on top in this battle? Will it be Stig? Will it be Brownie? Although there goes Mellon. Mellon's gone. Mellon has gone. Coming out of the first corner in the centre S. It looks to me like he's lost the wheel spin, and that's completely wrong. He has lost a whole heap of time. He's lost a position. He's all plunging down the order. Crazy. SDM fighting 4/8. The 2 debutants look almost going wheel to wheel. Hubi should be in the pit. Squeakers all the way down in 11th place. Not picking up the results as Squeakers this season, but he's picking up a point because people are not really showing up for the majority of races. And with Squeakers showing up for every race, he is picking up the points. So then, Crazy versus SDM. Who will come out on top in this battle? Mellon looks to be going slow then. Extra Frosty is catching up to Stig V Rob, who is catching up to Brownie SV, and those 2 on track looking very close to 2 title rivals. Might be going wheel to wheel for position, and will be interesting. And I think they are just up in front for the battle for 30s odd between the 2 championship leaders, and it is Stig V Rob on the back of Brownie SV, the 2 title rivals. Who's going to come out on top in this battle? Brownie SV moves over to the inside to defend. Stig, I don't need your inside. Stays in his slipstream. Pulls over to the outside. Just about now he pulls over to the outside. The 2 title rivals going around the outside goes Stig V Rob of the championship leader. The championship leader fights back though, going through the centre S. and he holds position. Brownie's Speed does an incredible job to hold position there. His car just does not look on the pace as much as Stig V Rob, as we see Stig V Rob going flying past. Cut to the helmet cam. As you can see there, he's in mirrors. Stig V Rob's about to pull over to the outside, going into turn 4. Does he keep it there? Yes, he does. He tries to hold around the outside. He's done him. Around the outside of turn 4, Brownie SV goes wheel to wheel with his championship contender, his closest championship contender, and he loses position. Frosty slides himself through to get in between of this championship battle. Brownie SV's fighting back on Frosty. His car does not seem on it today, does Brownie? It's not looking good as he's lost more positions, 2 more positions. Disastrous race then. Either way then, Frosty gets in between and Brownie's instantly dropping back, so it does indeed look like Brownie's not on the pace as we cut to Restag versus Alex Delage. These two are very close on track and might be going wheel to wheel, and yes they are. Restag moves up to the inside for the rest lead. Can he do it? He holds it on the inside. Is it enough for him now? As he crosses line to start the penultimate lap of the race, down the inside, under braking. Who brakes later? It's Racer Tay down the inside, and Racer Tay takes the lead going on to the penultimate lap at the first corner. Flying around the outside into Curva do Sol as they launch it onto this back straight. These two will be going all at it as they are both fighting for the race win. Stig V Rob with extra Frosty goes side by side. Frosty goes to the inside. And now as we look across the Stig V Rob, you can just give him a handshake or something across the mirrors, across the windows there. Down the inside, Stig V Rob tries to hold it around the outside. It's Frosty that sent it to the inside, holds it around the outside. Stig V Rob keeps the position. He's doing a brilliant defending job. And now Brownie looks to be coming under pressure from Helgas. This is not a good race from Brownie. I wonder he's just fuel saving to get to the end or something. Here comes Brownie. Not Brownie, Frosty, sorry. Accelerating round. Stig just there in third. Which one will come out on top in this third place battle? Racer Tay does lead then as he heads out on top of the hill to start the final lap to what could be his second race victory. He got the win at Season 1 in Monza. Can he get the win at Season 2 in Interlagos? The 4th round yet again he's looking like it's the race that Tay's going to win, so maybe it's just the 4th race of the season that Racer Tay comes through to win as they start the final lap. These two that we're watching now begin their final lap, and Extra Rossi looks down the inside. Is it enough? Is it enough? It's not yet enough. Helgas has also made his way ahead of Brownie, the championship leader, dropping down the order at this late stage in the Grand Prix. It's difficult for him to try and just keep the position. He must be fuel conserving. He must. Either way, here comes Frosty around the outside, and he holds it, but it's not enough yet. There he goes. So Extra Frosty doesn't quite. He tried it on the inside on the last lap. That didn't work. Tried it on the outside this lap. That didn't work. Stig V Rob looks like a moving brick wall when it comes to defending. It's really challenging to find his way ahead of him now. As we cut to Brownie, who's behind Helgas. Absolutely frustrating drive from Brownie. Dropped to the back at the start. Tried fighting his way up. Got forced into a one-stop. And now it's just not good for Brownie. He's down in 6th place whilst his championship rival is looking like he's going to round out the podium. But he's going to just... Brownie's just going to have to look forward to the next round. Frosty's gone. Frosty's gone. Frosty's gone. He's on the grass and not on the track. Unbelievable. Extra Frosty could have gone for 3rd place, and Brownie's feet. And there's something going on. Racer Tay takes the checkered flag and under full confirmation to win the Interlagos race at Season 2, race number 4. It's Alex Delage who comes in 2nd, Stig V Rob 3rd, 4th was Longlive Helgas, 5th is the championship leader who holds the championship lead by a small amount now. Extra Frosty 6th, 7th Melons, 8th STM, 9th Hooby Shooby, 9th is Crazy now. Anyway, so thanks for watching this race. It was a good one. we join you for the next race in Bathurst. It will be a special race because not only is it Bathurst, but it will be a night race. I will leave you now with the fastest lap, which for the first time since Brown ESV started driving in this league, it's not Brown ESV that's taken fastest lap. His streak that looked to have gone on forever has been broken. Now watch how Racer managed to take the fastest lap. So then, your official confirmation of the race then. Racer did take victory. Alex F. Delage second and third place for Stig v Rob. Racer managed to get the fastest lap. And a frustrating race for Brown ESV and an error from Frosty cost him position. So Brown ESV holds a 1 point advantage over Stig v Rob, whilst Racer has the possibility to take the championship lead at the next race in Bathurst. The championship battle is getting excited and you do not want to miss it for the next race, so subscribe and we'll see you for the next one.